What's going on, y'all? Tyler has words. I want to talk about Bastille. I think they're a sick band. You should check them out, like deep, if you haven't already. Before I get to them, I'm gonna talk about how I even got into them. I got into them on accident. I think there's a big thing about getting into stuff by accident, that actually some of that stuff that you don't mean to happen into, that's the stuff that sticks with you even more. I was in this store, really Tony upscale store. I shop twice a year, okay? Twice a year. So don't infer anything. I shop maybe twice a year. So I go to this real upscale store in just north of downtown Dallas, kind of the high class section of town where I don't belong. And I'm going in there. It's one of these stores that has like a rack, and then there's a half of a scarf on the rack. They built the rack, I guess, for the scarf. I'm not sure. Anyways, anyway, I find a couple things I like, and I'm trying on some shirts, whatever. And I'm listening to the song on the thing, and I've never heard the song. And I asked the girl, what's this music? Because it's freaking awesome. And she's like, she goes and checks, because she doesn't know either. It's because it's a deep cut from Bastille's first album. Now, I'm like, I love this, and I, put it in my phone, and I download the record immediately, and from then on, I've been in love with this band, been in love with them. I mean, I think they started in 2010 or just about there, so this is a band of our decade, and I think one of the best, and one of my favorites, probably my favorite consistently. They have 2 double albums. They're both got like 20 songs on them, and they're both killers. Bad Blood and Wild World. Check them out all the way through. Put them on while you're doing something and just let it sink into your system. Dan Smith's the singer. Love him. He's got one of those English voices that doesn't hardly ever say any consonants. I don't know how they do that. It's just like airy and floaty and beautiful. The lyrics are the sound is killer. They got great beats. The synth parts are amazing. Everything's really well produced and thought out. But what I really stayed for was the lyrics. I love what they talk about. They don't talk about, most of the songs aren't about, hey, shake your butt, or I really love this girl, or she left me and I'm sad now, which I have no problem with that kind of lyrics, with those kinds of lyrics. But in this case, they talk about some stuff that isn't your general pop stuff. In 2 songs, I think one song they talk about Daniel in the Lion's Den, so there's biblical reference, and then the next song is about Laura Palmer from Twin Peaks, so they got David Lynch, and right next to a song about the Bible. Okay, that's ridiculous and cool. And a song called Weight of Living, which I just love that phrase, the weight of living. There's actually Weight of Living 1 and Part 2 on the record. They're both awesome versions, and the main refrain is about albatross, which is from Samuel Coleridge's Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, which is a great poem that everybody probably remembers from like the 6th grade, but it's one of those deep poems that you should probably not read when you're in 6th grade, because you can't understand it because you're a kid. Anyways, great vocals. Okay, so if you're just taking this decade into account, they've got, only 2 full-length albums out, but these are full-length albums, 40 songs, 20 songs each, and they're about to come out with a new one. That's why I wanted to talk about them. I'm excited about it. They've been doing some collaborations with other people. I don't care. Bring it on. Do the collaborations. I hope they stick with the formula and they don't get too into the current tricks of production vocally, because I want to hear this guy's vocals, pretty pure. I mean, they layer and stack the vocals really well, but that's about all I want. That's just my opinion. I hope they just keep going with that formula and they just ram it home. I would love another, 20-song album. Oh my gosh. It would give me another couple years of listening to it, religiously. So I would love it. It's funny because I went to the store and I heard the music, and it was one of these stores. I found a couple things I actually liked, and I tried on, a bunch of stuff. Finally, I said, I'll take this, this, and this. And the girl's like, well, you can't take it, And I was like, what? So they had to mail. It's one of these stores. They mail you the clothes afterwards. So the only thing I walked out of there with was the knowledge that Bastille had some awesome deep cuts. And then I went home and drove back home to Fort Worth. And you know what? Didn't feel like I lost anything. Not even time. I got a new band that I loved, and I still do. They're like the same thing happened with Travis in the 2000s, which is another band that I love. I kind of happened on them by accident, even though they were huge. I just didn't really know about them, and then I did, and once I did, I was like, boom, these are my dudes. Also a great lyrical band. So anyways, Bastille, check them out. Listen to the whole thing, take it in, have the patience, be doing something and let it just seep in. And I recommend it. I think that you'll be better off for doing it. Listen to some of the lyrics. They're thoughtful and thought-provoking. And I really think that one of the best bands, my favorite band probably of the 2010s. They're doing what they do, and their formula is great. And what a great surprise Bastille was back when I was shopping at a place I didn't belong. All right, this is Tyler Has Words signing off. All the links are below. Check them out. Listen to that music. Get some of that sweetness up in you. Cheers. See ya after.